Thank you for watching Meatsauce Monty. I'm Matt Montgomery. He's Paul Meatsauce Lambert. As you can see this week, it's our season finale, season 4 coming to an end. Usually the guest only gets a little bit of the show, but you're our biggest A-list guest. We got Ben Lieber, the entire show, start to finish, the whole time.
Isn't this the most bizarre thing when you feel like you have to clap for yourself?
No,
but if you
feel bizarre.
But if you don't, then you just sit there, which is equally awkward.
No, clap. You definitely want to clap for yourself.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that the proper etiquette to clap for yourself?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
I think it works.
Since you're giving me the whole show, I guess I'll clap
you
for
get the whole show.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
I clap for myself.
Yeah. Okay, clean it up here. Season 4 finale. Before we get things going, should we do the obligatory thank yous?
Yeah.
We got to thank Mystic Lake. Thank you so much. Season 4 here at Mystic Lake. Thursday Night Lights. They have been absolutely great hosts. We appreciate them so much. Todd, we would not be doing this if it weren't for Todd. He's real. He's legitimate. He's a person. Scott, Castle Rock Curtis, Kimberly, Jill, Allie, the whole crew. So thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a clap.
There you go. That deserves a clap.
I'll clap on that one.
All right. You want to talk about anything real, or you just want to?
No, man. I don't
guys
really.
just hanging out on the couch.
Let's just sit and stare at each other.
As you know, we could do that for a few seconds.
Yeah.
If my
They
wife
love
was here,
that.
she could stare at you for a
They
very long
love
time.
dead air.
Yeah. I mean, I decided today I was going to wear my obese chic outfit, so here I am.
Obese chic.
Normally I wear like jeans and a nice button-up, but I literally took a nap in this sweatshirt. And I'm like, I'm doing it. It's a season finale.
You look great.
Yeah.
I do not. I look like I slept in a
You
dumpster.
pull off homeless really well.
Thank you.
That's a
Yeah.
Peloton workout outfit right there. I can tell.
Well, I didn't. Yeah, I showered at least, but yeah. So I'm like, yeah, I'm
Thanks.
gonna wear it. It's the last show. I'm gonna wear my pink socks, and then here we are. Yeah.
Well,
He laughs
obviously,
his own jokes.
you're still in great shape, so you work out. Do you do the Peloton?
I
Or
do do the
something?
Peloton.
You do
I
the
did one
Peloton
this afternoon, yeah.
Really?
Favorite Peloton person?
Well,
Leanne Hainsby
look at it.
from London.
Oh, so it's the voice too.
Yeah. Oh
It's
yeah.
the whole
She,
thing,
yeah.
yeah.
She
Yeah.
sort of just sings to me.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Does
It's
she
like
know
a-
that you're? See, we used to joke with Paul of it's not reversed. It's not like she can see you, but
No.
she knows the names and all the stuff of people that are on the classes. It's not like she calls
Well,
you out.
but I'll be completely honest. I've never done a live class.
Yeah. Either have I.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just do all the archive classes.
Yeah.
So I'm still like in the little leaderboard thing on the right hand
Yeah,
side, but I'm
sure.
not live.
Okay.
I get rid of the leaderboard because it's like looking at like my final GPA in high school. I'm like, I don't want to see it. Yeah, it's real bad.
Did I pass or not?
It makes you
Yeah,
feel
I
further
graduated.
behind.
Am I
Dead
getting
last again? Yep. Yeah. So yeah, I don't.
But at least you're doing
just
it.
get rid of it.
Right?
Yeah, of course.
So be positive.
Yeah, no, and that's why I love it. It's positive. It's positive reinforcement. Now there's like that commercial for that other workout
mirror?
facility. No, where it's like, don't be like the bike where they show the people like, hey, she finished last. Like, let's hiss at her that
Oh,
bit.
what?
Like that's so
The
stupid.
global gym?
No, it's like a brilliant. Brilliant.
Wait,
brilliant.
is that
That's
dodgeball?
Yeah. No, is it?
Yeah,
I
isn't
thought
it?
it was heavyweights.
Oh.
Oh,
yeah.
that is another
Yeah.
great movie.
Yeah, I
But
never saw heavyweights. Hated that movie as a kid.
Disney Plus.
Hate that.
It's
film.
on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I'm never
Get
gonna
Disney
watch
Plus
it.
just to
never
watch
gonna
it.
watch it. I was that kid. I
You
hated
can come over to
that
my
film.
place anytime. Yeah, but the whole point of the story is that the heavyweight kids win.
Yeah, but
See,
still
watch
though.
it. You
But
feel
feel
good
good
about
story.
yourself.
Yeah, but there's like the fat camp thing, and I was always afraid of fat camp when I was a kid because I thought it was real. Not that my parents would ever send me there or stop taking me to McDonald's.
Yeah.
but,
I think that it might be, and I mean this, Heavyweights is Ben Stiller's best movie ever. His role is absolutely
Well, I don't know.
hilarious.
His role in Happy Gilmore, where he's the orderly
Yeah,
in the old
the
folks'
nurse.
home. Brilliant. That's a good. I
you
love
can pull
that
off that
scene.
mustache from that. You could,
Yeah, I
next
wish
year-
I had a mustache.
Next year for Halloween.
I had one once, but the person I was with at the time said it was like sleeping with a gym teacher, so I had to get rid of it.
So you go full beard now.
But hold on, how
Yeah.
quickly can you grow that beard? If you just for a week just shaved nothing, just left the mustache.
Probably a week. It would not
Do
to
it.
like this.
Do
See?
it.
No, I look weird to begin with. Then I look like Mr. Potato Head with just the mustache on. I don't want to look like that.
It's a week.
No, when I
Go a
shave
day.
this, I look awful. I look like something from the Hey Arnold cartoon.
Give
You're
it,
like,
give it next Monday through Friday.
all right. I will show up on Monday with a mustache.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I will.
In the off season. So
Yeah,
the TV show's
I will
done.
show up on a Monday with a mustache.
Just the stash.
Yeah, all right. I'll do it.
All right.
All right. Then I have to shave. I don't think I have a razor. I mean, I got a trimmer, but I don't have like a razor.
Yeah.
Razor.
Your trimmer is it's technically a razor, I believe.
Yeah, but
Well,
you
I know what he
no-
means.
Yeah, I
doesn't
know
have
what
a-
he- yeah,
He doesn't
yeah.
have a straight edge.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't have a straight edge.
So he
yeah.
can get it down to stubble. But
Yeah.
that's it.
No, I'll take the whole thing down. I'll shave it all off.
All right.
Just so I can have a mustache. Yeah.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to talk football at all? We can talk this all day. We really could.
We can. It's your show.
Yeah,
Well,
let's talk football.
Paul, it's up to you.
Let's talk football.
Okay. Vikings finished the season 10-6. They got wild card weekend heading on to New Orleans to take on the Saints. We could talk about so much. We could talk back about the season, where they've been. This is wild card weekend, the hype. First of all, I'm not going to give you grief. I did that last year about the 2009-2010. People are saying it's like a trilogy. You just give a little. They're saying that
he does all the time.
Yeah, but see, that's why I don't. I did last year. I asked you about it. I said, "Do you hate New Orleans?" And you said no.
I feel bad because that's not your fault.
Don't feel bad.
I mean,
history is history.
Well,
I'm not going to blame you. You guys held that team to like no yards. I mean, you did make one of the worst gaffes in Vikings history, but I'm never going to bring it up.
One of the worst. See,
that sucked, dude.
Oh, man.
Oh, I was so mad.
Let's not go down this path, please.
You brought it up.
No, I read an article that talked about the trilogy, and they said the overtime game, and then the miracle, and now this. It's like completing a saga. So which way is it going to go? Is this going to be a dramatic one? Is this going to be a horrible one? Who knows?
It'll be a dramatic one.
Really?
It'll be dramatic.
We'll do our picks at the end of the show.
Yeah.
We've got to wait till the end of the show.
We've talked about this plenty of times on the Power Trip. Why do we always match up so well against that team? Even though last week or whenever the last time they played, which feels like a decade ago with New Year's in the way, but they destroyed Carolina, killed them. Why do we match up against a team?
Well, did Carolina have anything to play for that week?
No, but still, though, they dominated them. I mean, 2 weeks we've looked like one of the worst teams in football. Now we're going to go into this hostile environment, and we match up well against this team. All the experts say, including you and PA, so I don't know how it all works out, but I hope you have the answer.
I wish I had the answers. All I know is there is something about the way we match up. Drew always seems to have a little bit of an off half where he just makes mistakes and he looks a little unsettled. And I think because the defenses that I was on, and then what Zimmer's doing, they are confusing. And do I say that they're confusing more so than any other defense? I don't know. But there's something about when he lines up against the Vikings defense that he overprocesses sometimes, I think, and he makes mistakes. And you and I talked about this morning. He feels a little rushed, I think, at times. And then he lends to make bad throws, and we capitalize. But there's just something about this team, our team, that I think gets in his head a little bit.
Do you think that the pressure gets to Drew Brees, or do you think that it's more the coverage? When you say that he gets, maybe it's a confusing look, he doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes. Like you said, he might have a bad half.
Especially this year. I mean, this year.
He was only in, I know the stats look really good. He was only in 11 games, but he still had almost as many touchdowns as Kirk Cousins. But 11 games, so he's just slinging it like crazy.
He's slinging it lately, when he's been back. Highest scoring offense in the NFL in the last 7 games, highest passer rating that he's in the regular season with. You're right, truncated season, but still I think that he's peaking at the right time. He looks fully in control. He has an awareness about where to go with the football before the ball's even snapped. And that's where I think where Zim's defense is, because he tends to do a lot of disguise things, I think it throws that off a little bit. So instead of being a half a step ahead before the ball is snapped, I think he's more in line with everybody else. And then when he's kind of mortal, he can make mistakes.
Sure.
So, I definitely think that the coverages and just our different personnel kind of give him fits.
We talked about this week on the Power Trip, but a lot of people, and I asked you, everyone thinks this Vikings team, including wherever that guy went, they're gonna kill the Vikings, and no one is giving the Vikings a chance. Steve Jordan's son's on Rich Eisen's radio show, basically laughing off Kirk Cousins and laughing about everything else.
Ooh.
But I asked you, these guys know this. They're all on social media. They see all this. Does that matter to them?
I think it matters because if I were a player right now, I would have felt embarrassed by the way we ended the season.
Yeah.
So regardless of
Pause. When you say end of the season, do you include the Packers game and then the Bears game, or just the Bears game?
Yeah,
because I'd throw the Bears game out, but the Packers game, yes, I'll give you that.
you can throw the Bears game out, but at the same time, it's still a loss. And so I think it does add to this idea that they're not a very good football team.
Yeah.
And so if I'm a player, yes, after the Packer loss, into the next loss, It's like nobody believes in us. It doesn't matter if you're playing the Saints, doesn't matter if you're playing the Falcons, doesn't matter if you're playing Green Bay again. It doesn't matter. It's just you have this bad taste in your mouth.
Sure.
And you want to prove everybody wrong regardless of who you're playing. And you throw in the fact that the NFL makes a hype video and doesn't include the Eagles and doesn't include the Vikings, and the head coach recognizes it, and then their game notes that they send out to all the media. They say this is the fourth meeting in the playoffs between the Saints and the Lions. They don't even say Saints and the Vikings. So like even their own PR department makes an honest mistake and a proofreading mistake. But their opening paragraph gets the wrong team on there. It's little things like that I think that do kind of get under your skin a little bit.
Let's go back to the Vikings as a team. How do they stand a chance, or how were they without Dalvin Cook, and how are they with Dalvin Cook? Because I thought, okay, he's having a great season, he's really solid. Those games that they didn't have him, they look totally different.
Totally different. And that's, I thought our scheme and our system was going to pick up and be better without Dalvin in there. But when he was really out, and you saw our offense operate, it just wasn't even the same offense. They didn't have a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
The offensive linemen just didn't block as well. They didn't call the
whole scheme seemed different.
The whole thing just seemed like it was out of sorts. So, is he important? He might be the most important piece of the offense now that we've seen the offense without him. So, the dude's phenomenal, and he's played through a lot of injuries, and hopefully through the rest of his career, his Vikings career, he can kind of keep the injury bug away.
Is this the biggest game of Kirk Cousins' career? I mean, there's a ton of pressure where if they lose, no matter how they lose, and we deal with it every day when it comes to that team, even if they lose because the Vikings defense gave up 600 yards and we lost 51-50, they're going to blame him. There's that.
Yeah.
If he goes out and we get beat 45-0, they're going to blame him. If he throws a bunch of picks, they're going to blame him. No matter the outcome, Kirk Cousins is going to get blamed. So it's a ton of pressure, and as we've seen, he doesn't do well when there's a ton of pressure on him, and this is maybe the most pressure-packed situation he's ever been in his career.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I'm glad I'm not in his shoes. I mean, from that standpoint, I would like the $83 million for sure. But
who wouldn't?
Who wouldn't? And that comes with the territory. Is he under a lot of pressure? Yes. And is he deserving? Sure. I mean, we've all watched with our own eyes that he's sort of crumbled, I think, in big time moments. So it is going to be imperative that it's not only important for the Vikings to win this game so we can get a record, a one in that column, but he also needs to play well. And we've talked about this on the radio show. The postseason's a whole different season.
Yeah.
You could have a bad season, and I'll throw Xavier Rhodes out there. You can have a season in which everybody's just kind of on you, like, oh, what happened? He's lost a step. He's missing plays. He's not the same guy. He goes out and makes a couple plays, and then maybe one big play, and helps the team win. And he's not the weak link.
Yeah.
You sort of erase that whole negative vibe that for 16 weeks you carried with you because of one game, and that's why the playoffs are important. That's why the postseason is important, and let's just hope that it's more than one game that they have an opportunity to make plays.
You mentioned this morning too that they run a West Coast style offense, so there's not a lot of deep threats, and that helps Rhodes, right?
It does help Rhodes. It kind of helps the way Zimmer does things. Zimmer, without getting too technical, he runs a cover 4 shell. So his corners and his safeties are going to be, they're the deepest part of that quarter of the field. And doing so, they play a lot of top-down football because they don't want anybody to go behind them. And with the West Coast offense, it's a lot of short underneath passes. Ginn, obviously, is their deep threat, but they don't throw the ball that much to him down the field.
He hasn't done much this year, let's be honest.
But he's their only speed threat down the field. Why does Mike Thomas have all these catches? It's because the scheme allows him to get open.
Yeah.
And they're only throwing 5 yards to him, and they're trying to let him do everything else.
Which also fits with quick release, not letting pressure get there. It fits everything.
Why is their offensive line rated one of the best in the league? Well, it's because there's a quick release. They get the ball out. Drew does a good job of protections. I don't want to take anything away from how good they are, but I think numbers can be a little misleading.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they're one of the quickest football teams to get that ball out. So it does help that our defense plays top down against an offense. All they want to do is throw the ball underneath anyway. So we have to make tackles. That's the thing. We have to limit every single yard after catch.
health issues, Eric Kendricks, the quad injury.
Yeah.
Obviously, Thursday Night Lights, we're in a time vacuum. What do you think? How different would they be? Number one, if he's playing, two, if he's not.
They'll be a lot different. You know, if Eric Wilson has to be the guy that steps in his spot, even if they brought in somebody else and Eric was the nickel, I think we've seen enough of Eric to realize that he's more of a downhill player. He's not a guy that can be as good in pass coverage and have that awareness that Kendricks can. So again, going against a team like this, it's going to get the ball out quick. They use his backs out of the backfield. They use a lot of different formations, and you have to communicate. Doesn't play well to his strengths. So I hope that we have Eric back.
Yeah, I hope we do too. We're going to do our picks here at the end of the show, but real quick, we're going to get these in here. Chris Tucker is touring across the U.S. and the globe, entertaining audiences with his hilarious stand-up comedy. He's no stranger to the stage. Tucker was a fan favorite on the HBO series Def Comedy Jam back in the 90s, starred in some of Paul's favorite movies, Chris Tucker Live on Netflix, and Friday and Rush Hour. He's going to be coming here to Mystic.
Sweet.
Get your tickets. Snow Days, one lucky grand prize winner will hit the weekly jackpot. Each week's prize is guaranteed to be at least $5,000 free slot play, plus an extra $1,000 free slot play is added to the jackpot for every inch of cumulative snowfall over the prior 6 days. All you need to do is swipe your Club M card here at Mystic Lake or Little Six from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Thursdays in January. So you hope for a snowstorm. Come down here Thursday night, swipe your card, try to win some free slot play.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Come down here anyway, regardless.
Yeah, come down here, have fun. We'll talk a little bit more. Eric Kendricks. He's led the team in tackles for 5 consecutive seasons. He's just one behind Chad Greenway and Scott Studwell. You were Chad Greenway's teammate.
Yeah.
Is that like a badge of honor when you say, hey, I'm leading the team in tackles? It kind of makes you the de facto leader?
Yeah, it does. I mean, yes, I wish that he had a couple more big plays. I wish there was some more true interceptions. I wish there was some more sacks, some big difference-making plays. But he's been a force on some critical third and fourth down short plays. So his run game has been outstanding. He's making plays, I think, closer to the line of scrimmage than in the years past. He's having a great year. And yes, everybody knows when they look at this defense, you have to watch out for him because he has an uncanny ability to get himself free, to hit the running lanes, to use his instincts and make plays.
Also, too, that last time he played in that Green Bay game, the first half until or whatever he went out,
yes,
it was a totally different defense.
Yeah.
They can attack the middle. He also can rush the passer a little and get in those running lanes, as you said. The second he went out, they just attacked the area he wasn't because the Eric Wilsons of the world they don't have the speed and all the other attributes that Kendricks has. And the other thing without having him is you go into a situation, a loud situation. If you're without Kendricks and he's not calling the plays and it's loud in there, man, it's going to get tough if they don't have him.
Yeah, it'll be really tough because, granted, it won't be super loud for their defense. The ambient noise in that place makes it still pretty difficult to communicate. And the other thing that he's done better this year is he's gotten off blocks. You know, I would say in the years past, because he doesn't have super long arms, he's not a guy that's going to go run downhill and butt an offensive lineman and use his face and hands to get off. He didn't have that physical component. This year, for whatever reason, both he and Barr have been very physical downhill. He's getting off blocks a lot better, and he has freed himself up to make more plays, and that's just something Eric Wilson, I think, because he's even smaller in stature, just can't do.
Do you think Alvin Kamara lived up to the hype this year? I think everybody would have said he was like a top 5 pick. Let's just say fantasy world. Everybody was looking at him. They thought he might be top 3. His season, his numbers, 797 yards, 5 touchdowns, just doesn't seem to have it. And what I'm saying is, obviously, the Saints have weapons, but their backfield, Latavius has put up similar numbers, tied him in touchdowns. It's like their backfield just doesn't. It's almost like that's their secondary option. Their pass, then maybe run.
Yeah, and no, he hasn't had a great season, and I haven't broken down enough film to say, well, here's what the reason why an offensive line and whatever. I just know that they're middle of the road when it comes to run offense. They're good, but they're not great. And the other part of that about this offense that I think is interesting is it's one of the lowest play action pass teams in the league. So what does that mean? Well, when they show run, it's going to be a run.
Yeah.
So as a defense, as a linebacker, you see heavy hands, you see a run stance by the offensive lineman, you feel a run formation by down and distance, you can pretty much guarantee that you can get your weight on the front of your toes and go make a play downhill. When it's pass, it's pass.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of fakes. So I do think that there is a little bit of their nuance to their offense. It's a little predictable, and hopefully it's just enough to give our guys a chance to make some plays.
We'll do our picks here at the end of the show. You guys want to talk Gophers?
Yeah.
Outback Bowl. They got a big W.
Yeah.
Beat Auburn. I'll admit on our show, which whatever happened, you can find it on YouTube. It lives there. I said they were going to laugh by 30. I thought that the Gophers had no chance. They played a complete game.
Well,
they looked solid throughout that one interception and the kick return. Other than that, they were solid the whole rest of the game.
I thought when he threw that interception, I'm going, cool. Because I'm like, they're going to get killed.
Yeah.
Like,
We said 30
they
points.
stopped the one thing that they do well, and that's that slant pass. Then they just went, screw that. And like you said this morning, Tanner Morgan went right back to it. And this is a dynamite win, but the take that Scott Van Pelt had, and he's 100% right. He said on his show, the bad part about this is in the SEC world, and you work in college football that we live in, is if anytime an SEC team loses in a non-college football playoff, it's, well, I don't know if they wanted to be there.
Oh, sure.
I don't know if they, and that's
Built-in
all
excuse.
that take is. And that take was that in the bowl game for a long time. But then you look at it and you go, the top 5 pick, maybe the first defensive player taken in this year's draft, the defensive tackle that they have, he played. And then he rallied all the rest of them to play. I think they only had 1 or 2 guys that sat out, and they got their butt kicked. They got beat badly. So you got to give the Gophers credit. And this is coming from me, who I wanted them to lose by 1,000. But they didn't. But you got to give them
Les
credit.
Miles to be here. That's
No, he's terrible.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
That
I
bit's
moved
gone
on
now?
from that.
All
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That bit's dead.
He's terrible though.
I don't
Kansas
ca-
is really bad.
I don't care if Auburn was there to play or not. 11 wins, most wins since 1904.
But beating an
That's an
SEC
amazing
team
season.
that
I know, but it's an amazing season.
Lost to the team that just beat Oklahoma by 50,000 in LSU, you know. It's a big win.
Yeah.
It's definitely a big deal, and you know you could have arguments to why bowl games are relevant and some bowl games aren't, and that was a relevant bowl game, and I don't care if Auburn was saying they wanted to be there or not. They got beat. And now in the record books, it's going to show that you got beat.
Yep.
You know, nobody's going to ask questions of what your motivation was because they're all going to expect it's a football game and you got to be up for it. It was a national stage game, like Sauce was saying, with a whole bunch of NFL caliber talent on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
And our little old Minnesota Gopher team that everybody thinks is just kind of cute with a whole bunch of monikers and slogans and taglines, they go out there and to me, which by the way, that
You don't like that stuff?
can we just put that one?
You don't like that?
Can we just stop that before it even starts?
Yeah, but that's PJ Fleck. That's
No. I'm fine with the rowing the boat slogan, but the crowd,
cheering it?
the crowd doing this,
Yeah, but
it just doesn't look like they're all. They're not all doing it in the same way.
So you're saying it's got to be like the Skull chant. You got to get a rhythm to it.
Yeah.
And then you've got these older people in the crowd that really can't even do the motions, so they're just kind of like gyrating. It's like just.
It basically looks like Chris Hockey's web history.
All right. Tyler Johnson, where do you think he's going to go in the draft? How high?
I don't think receivers get a lot of love in the first rounds.
Okay.
You know, that's the one group that unless you're a top 5 pick or a top 10 pick,
Then they
a
fall.
lot of scouts just say, a lot of personnel department people say, if they're not a top 10 pick, don't take them in the first round.
The Alabama kid may be the only one.
So PJ, after the game, talking about the Blue Bloods, do you buy into that, saying we beat a Blue Blood, we're going to try to become a Blue Blood? His whole culture, I'm not saying do you like him, do you not like him? What he said after the game, is that true? Auburn's a Blue Blood, we beat them. Does this put us somewhere on the stage where maybe next year if we get another big bowl win?
No. I think it's, to be a Blue Blood, there has to be a long run of history. And can that start now? Sure. If we look back in 20 years and there's 2 national championships and there's always national relevance, then you could say maybe that was the impotence for that to start. But to be a Blue Blood, you have to have national credibility with national championships and rings. I think the focus should be more on let's just get better and win the Big Ten West.
Yeah.
Let's just get better and win
Step
the
at a
Big Ten. And wanting to be a Blue Blood, I mean that's a lot of just fun talk and maybe the kids get into it, but I think that's slow your roll just a little bit on that talk.
And you win one big game and Blue Bloods get 5-star recruits. How many the Gophers have? 0.
Yeah.
You get 4-star recruits. They had a handful. Blue Bloods get those recruits. So let's get that going.
Build it
and then
up.
We'll
All
see
right.
where it goes.
One
Yeah.
more little break, then we're going to rip through it. The Man in Black, Sean Barker, stars as the Man in Black, a tribute to Johnny Cash. He's accurate. He looks like him, sounds like him. Energetic recreation of that American music icon. He'll sing the best. Walk the Line, Ring of Fire, and Hurt, and many others. Get your tickets. Come here to Mystic. See the Man in Black. Okay. Last show of the year, we always do the predictors. Rip through it. Say whatever you want. 2020, what's going to happen for the Twins? They just signed Homer Bailey and Rich Hill. Paul likes to call him Dick Mountain.
Yeah. I love that nickname.
It's a great nickname.
It's brilliant. And one of his teammates gave it to him, which is the best part.
So the Twins, 2020, what do they?
They signed Josh Donaldson and they win the division.
All right.
You think they will sign it?
Yeah, yeah.
You got the next one. 19-17-15, 3 points on the last wild card spot. Where did the Wild go this year? Don't even make the playoffs. You can say, I don't watch hockey either. It's okay.
I don't really watch hockey.
Yeah, just say, that's fine. You can say anything.
Well,
It's
aren't they like,
predictors.
like one of the highest scoring teams as of late or something like that?
I-
Like they.
Do you watch?
I was
Be
there,
honest.
I was there on New Year's Eve and I couldn't tell you who they played.
And you don't even
You
remember?
know what? Because,
You blacked out.
Because
No, I just
I have
wasn't
nothing but
paying
love for
attention.
some of the guys on the team.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
absolutely, they make the playoffs.
All right.
I mean,
Oh,
even
there
though
you
I don't
go.
really pay attention.
There you go.
Why not be optimistic?
Timberwolves, they're 12-21. Carl Anthony Towns, future with the Wolves.
Yeah, he'll be here for the long haul, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
You going to
he will.
golf with him again
Probably,
in
yeah.
2020? You pay
Yeah.
You pay for it, or does he?
Well, if they go to Golden Valley Country Club, yeah, I'd pay for it.
All right. Gophers basketball, right now they're 7-5. They had that big win over number 3 Ohio State. Right now they're 8th in the Big Ten. What do they look like?
I don't know. They're okay. They beat like really good teams and they get blown out. I think
NCAA
they'll-
tournament, March Madness? No?
No, I
They're
don't
out.
think they'll make it. No.
All right.
You don't think so?
No.
All right.
You want to bet?
Yeah, sure.
Not on this show. On your own show, go ahead.
I owe you $100.
Okay.
You do owe me
Yeah,
$100.
here, hold on.
I'll take your money. Picks. Vikings Saints. Who you got?
I got Vikings
Okay.
31-27.
Here's
31-27. Paul, with your
20
cheddar.
more.
Ben picked
What-
the
what are we
Vikings.
picking?
The Vikings.
Vikings,
Saints. Sunday morning wild
Well,
card.
where's
31
Loudmouth
to
McGee
don't,
over
don't
there?
encourage him. Remember, it's what you tell yourself. Don't encourage him. 31-27, 28.
Oh, man. I want to pick them. I've been trying to convince myself all week that they're going to win, but I think they're going to lose on a field goal, like 27-24.
Oh, Will Lutz is going to get
Oh,
him?
good old Will
Lutzy.
Lutz. I'm going to say
Lutzy.
Vikings win. I'm going to go 21-17.
I've been convinced by
I think
that
it's
guy.
going to be close. You swayed.
Yeah, I guess he had 10 grand.
Yeah.
that he bet on.
Yeah.
All right. Last thing, Super Bowl. Who you got? I'll go first. San Francisco beating Kansas City. Last year, I think I said Bears, Kansas City, but
I got Baltimore
Okay.
and San Francisco.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same. Going back.
Baltimore.
Going
Who
back
wins
to
it?
San Francisco. They'll get their revenge because they lost them earlier.
Same.
All right.
I'm going NFC dominance this year.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Ben, thank you so much for
Thank you,
joining
Matt.
us. Thank you so much for watching this season 4. Todd, again, thank you so much. Mystic, thank you. CW, thank you. Paul, thank you.
Thank you,
Congrats,
man.
guys.
Enjoy the off season, everybody. Take care.